What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your retro review for the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 2. We are on episode 12, so we are chugging right along, getting to the end of the show, child. So, I mean, season 2, child. We got a long way to go, but we're getting there. Okay. So this episode really is about Teresa's anniversary, her 10-year anniversary, and is it Jillian? Danielle's daughter's sweet 16. No, Jillian is the younger one. So we start off, we see Teresa and Joe, and she's telling Joe that she wants a really nice gift for her anniversary, that he needs to plan something really nice. It's 10 years. You know, she pushed out 4 beautiful babies for him. And here's where we start seeing some of the stuff that we know was playing out in real life. Baby Joe is talking about money, and he's talking about how, you know, things are a little tight, and, you know, money ain't what it used to be. And Teresa's like, yeah, the economy is just a little bit bad. The economy is just not doing so well, you know. And I said, you know, we know what's kind of coming. I don't know what season where everything fell down, but we know, like I told you guys before, child, they were already under investigation before they even started filming this show, okay? We see Jacqueline venting to Caroline. Listen, I like Caroline. Now, I might not like Caroline when we get to the end of this, but for season 2, I like Caroline because, baby, Caroline is sitting back raising her kids, playing mommy, and telling everybody, I told you so. Listen, the one thing I like about Caroline is when she say what she mean and she mean what she say. See, this old school right here, this old school reality TV. She said, listen, I don't like Danielle. I'm not filming with Danielle. I don't with Danielle. I don't want nobody around me that with Danielle, and that is it, and that is all. And I said, you know what, I am fine. And every time these women come to her and tell her about these people playing both sides of the coin and playing, you know, playing left and playing right, she be like, I don't understand what you want from me. Because I told you Danielle was trash last year. I told you Danielle wasn't reforming. I told you Danielle didn't mean y'all no good. I told y'all that last year, and I'm just not understanding what y'all not understanding, and I'm not understanding why we still having these conversations about Danielle. And Caroline is me in this moment. Like, I don't know what else you want me to say. And then they talking about Ashley and how Ashley's not taking this seriously. Now, the one thing they brought up, which was a valid point, you know, Danielle kept saying last year that all that stuff, that her police report, she was in her 20s, she was young, she was making mistakes, she was young. And Ashley, you know, and Jacqueline is like, well, why you can't extend that same grace to my daughter? Like, okay, she pulled your hair. It was wrong. Full stop. But she is 19 years old. Like, you said you were 20 years old when you was out here running with the cartel, allegedly, and kidnapping people, allegedly, and committing felonies. Well, you got convicted of a felony, so that ain't allegedly. But I'm just saying, like, that was a valid point. Even though I still feel like Ashley is a spoiled brat and she wrong, that is a valid point. If I was somebody that went through something in my 20s, made a bad decision, made a mistake, and I'm still dealing with it, and I could definitely understand why their attitude is, what's the difference? Like, why you can't extend no grace. But moving on. So then we see Jacqueline and Chris go over to Teresa and Joe's house. And again, they're just talking about this anniversary. Joe was talking to Chris, and that's when I said, you know, he was kind of like, yeah, my money kind of funny. I'm just not sure what's going on with this situation. And, but Joe know he got to do something. He said, Teresa wants a diamond ring. Baby, why Chris tell him, get her a Fugazi ring? I said, I know that's right, Fugazi. You better get her a Fugazi ring. You better go down to DH Gate and get you a nice little something that look like something but ain't something, child. Now, on the other side, Danielle is playing her daughter's Sweet 16. Now, her daughter said, listen, I didn't even want no party, okay? But I decided I'm going to go ahead and do a party, and then I'm going to, you know, but I'm going, whatever money I get, I'm going to give away to charity. Is it me? Or this whole episode, it feels like Danielle propped her daughters, coached her daughters, wrote a script for her daughters. Because I was like, don't get me wrong, her oldest daughter seemed real cool, real chill, and real, like, not into playing into her mother's theatrics. But I was like, that's a lot for a 16-year-old. You went from not wanting to have a party at all to deciding, well, I'm going to have a party. I'll just donate everything to charity. Then later on in the episode, the youngest daughter is going to write an original song and perform. And when they went down there to practice, she started singing, and then she stopped and she started crying, and she turned her back to the camera and she said, I don't remember the words. Girl, you wrote the song, right? Ain't it your song? And I get it. She's young. She was nervous, you know. And the whole time Danielle is pushing her and pushing her. This could be the start of her pop career, her singing career. I mean, this could be, she could become a rock star, and this would be her first performance at her sister's Sweet 16. She done invited the ex-husband. She done invited all these people. This is gonna be like, girl, the daughter talking about something. She inviting like hundreds of people. Now listen, I ain't want to count nobody's coins, but one thing Ashley says towards the end of this episode, I'm with Ashley. Where is she getting all this money from? She getting hair extensions. She's still in that house. She's still pushing that Range Rover. She throwing her daughter this expensive Sweet 16. Now I feel like her husband probably paid for that party, because he did show up with his new wife. But girl, you don't act like you really don't have no money. But then, well, see, now I'm talking about I done moved ahead. We'll get back to that, child. She been kind of leeching off of her friends, but I'm gonna leave that there. So we find out that Joe did pretty good, y'all. Joe scheduled a helicopter ride over New York. They went back to the Westin, hotel where they had a suite. They had dinner in their room, steak and all that good stuff, surf and turf. And he did get Teresa a nice ring. Now, I don't know if it was real. He might have went on and got that fugazi. He might have got the fugazi. But it was a beautiful ring. And Teresa was like, and I'm going to give you what you want, okay? I'm going to give you what you want. And she said, y'all might not find my husband sexy, but I think my husband is sexy, okay? And I'm going to give him what he wants because he gave me what I wanted, okay? Now, over to Danielle's house. Like I said, her daughter, she said that her daughter's modeling career is doing really well. She's, getting jobs. The youngest daughter is, writing her original music. And they had this whole thing. The daughters, they're 2 or 3, maybe like 4 years apart or something. So they're doing what sisters do, child. One minute they like each other, the next minute they hate each other. Me and my sister, one minute we was cool, the next minute we was throwing each other into the wall. I mean, it's just what it is. So that, that's that hot and cold thing. But at the end of the day, when it was time for her sister to perform down at that Sweet 16 party, baby, she got on the mic and said, and y'all better be quiet while my sister is singing or I'm going to be pissed. I said, okay, girl. You better let them know. But the daughter, like I said, she's writing this music, but again, I just feel like, I don't know. I'm just not convinced that because even when it got down to the party, I'm kind of all over the place, but this episode was whatever. It was about these 2 events, but when the daughter, when they got to the party, it just looked very, like all them kids. Did she invite her whole high school? Because, don't get me wrong, like, I just feel like it was a casting call. Like, I feel like Danielle was like, I need about 200 teenagers. I would really be interested to know how many of them kids her daughter actually knew that was in that room. Because it just didn't look like her daughter really knew them people. It just looked staged, and it looked like an event more than a birthday party. But anyway, Albie done joined the Sheriff's Deputy Academy while he waiting to go, to get his law school situation straight. Now, again, that's great, and I'm glad that he's spending time, and, he's not wasting time, that he's, doing something with himself. But let's not forget, going back to season 1, that they know the sheriff, and they do fundraisers for the sheriff. They help him with his re-election campaign. They say they do that every year for him. So, baby, that was a phone call. And I ain't taking nothing away from Albie. Y'all know I like him. But, baby, that was a phone call. They got on the phone. They called their friend. They said, look, can you get my son up in this Sheriff Deputies Academy for the next 6 months while we get this law school thing together? And it will give him a different perspective. A lot of cops go to law school and become attorneys. Like, we saw it on Law and Order a couple of times. So we know that that's the kind of thing that does happen. So, child, Danielle and them getting ready for this party. Danielle gonna pull out her engagement ring from her ex-husband, talking about something. Is it okay if I wear it? You guys think this will be okay if I wear it? She talking to her daughters. They don't care. Not only do they not care, they probably don't even know nothing about that ring. Like, other than what you told them. It's a ring. I get it. Your ex-husband is going to be there with his new wife. You're going to put on the engagement ring that he gave you. I mean, it looks nice and it looks like it's worth some money, but it is just not that serious. Danielle be doing the most when the least will do, child. She just be giving me... she just be giving me so much extra drama when it is so unnecessary, child. And of course, Kim G was around. Kim G was in the mix. So then we see Ashley had to go pick up her paperwork from the post office because it was a certified letter, her notice to appear, and it told her, look, these are your charges, and if you don't show up, we're going to put out a warrant for your arrest. And basically it was like assault and stalking or something. And Ashley really she just doesn't think it's serious because she feels like the charges are ludicrous. Listen, I understand Jacqueline's frustration, but you can't make somebody care. I mean, you just can't. You can't make somebody care. Ashley don't care. And part of the reason why Ashley don't care is because Ashley really has not suffered any real consequences for any of her behavior. You know, when she screwed up in school, you went down to the school and you helped her. She didn't have to deal with the consequences. You talked the school into letting her do summer school and do this and do that so she could pass her classes. When she didn't want to follow the rules and y'all told her to get out, she don't want to follow the rules, she stayed out until it was uncomfortable. And then the minute she asked if she could move back in, y'all were like, sure. While she was gone, she was driving a nice Range Rover. I'm sure she had money in her account. Like, she ain't look like she came over there to wash her clothes whenever she felt like it. She's just never had to deal with any consequences. So now you want her to feel some kind of way, Jacqueline. You keep asking her, well, what could you have done differently? How do you feel now? Do you wish you hadn't done it? If I was Ashley, I'd be irritated with you too because you keep asking her the same thing over and over again and you're waiting for her to give you something she's not equipped to give you. She don't feel no kind of way about it. She don't feel like she did nothing wrong. She feels like the whole thing is ridiculous. And then she had the nerve to say she was going to countersue Danielle. And Jacqueline talking about, so with what money? Where you getting this lawyer from? And she's talking to Chris about she going to countersue. And Chris was like, for what? She don't have nothing. What are you countersuing for? But what you should say is, what are you countersuing for? You assaulted her. Well, she lied. She lied. Girl, she said, all I need to do is find proof that she lied. Well, all she needs is proof that you pulled her hair, and she has that. And I don't remember if the girl said them things that, I don't know if the girl said them things that Danielle said she said or not. That she was going to, kill her and all that. I don't know if she said that thing or not. But it doesn't even matter. Like, again, and I'm not siding with Ashley at all. But honestly, if I was Ashley, I would be irritated at this point too. You keep wanting me to give you something I don't have it to give you. I don't have it to give you. Anyway, child, that's the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.